You're watching Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for our art display segment. Yes, we feature Olufemi Oyewole today. He is known for creating figurative works that examine the power of memories and depict subjects in stoical positions. Oyewole specializes in watercolor, acrylic, and oil. Well, he did specialize in that during his formative years, but began experimenting with unconventional materials, majorly carpets and rugs. And if you're wondering how you can use carpets and rugs to make artwork, you want to stick around for this. Good to have you in the studio with us, Oyewole. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'm happy to be here also.
Great.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so first off, let's get it straight, because one of the things I've learned from many artists is when you ask what kind of artists they are, you discover that there are new terminologies for describing what they do. So what kind of artist would you describe yourself as?
I wouldn't say I'm a painter, although I'm an academic trained painter.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say I'm a painter now because I'm exploring beyond colors, beyond pigments.
Okay.
I use carpets and rugs now.
Okay.
So I say I'm a visual artist.
Visual artist.
Yes.
Now, do you make use of used carpets and rugs, or do you have to get a fresh one so as to depict what you want as well as you want it to be?
The idea is to use factory waste, to upcycle factory waste. Okay. So instead of burning the waste and causing environmental hazard, okay, I tend to convert it into something else, while I retain the beauty. You know, upcycling is different from recycling.
Yes, yes. Where did the inspiration to make use of that come about? Because I'm wondering, why would you want to upcycle rugs when you could have just made use of canvas or something? Where did that inspiration come from?
I started with watercolor, acrylic, the traditional medium we use in school. But after my first degree, I'm this inquisitive person. So after my first degree in 2012, Olufemi Oyewole University, I practiced a little while. Then I felt I could offer more. So I went back for my second degree.
Okay.
And then I started with exploration of materials as a medium of expression in painting. So after some time, after some graduate workshops, I settled with the rugs and carpets.
So what were the other materials you explored?
With cans, with plastic.
Okay.
But I think this has not been explored before in this way. So I decided to move into this angle.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about your rugs, especially now that they've been converted into artworks.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them, especially the two we have here. Could you tell us more about this one?
When I start, these are pilot studies,
Okay.
done in 2018. These are pilot studies, and I brought them here to show how I started.
Okay.
From the visual sent to, from the image sent to you, you must have seen different figurative expressions.
I'm pretty sure our viewers have been seeing them on screen. We've been showing quite a number of your artworks on screen.
Yeah, so so I started with this.
Was this your very first?
No, not the very first, like the second and third.
This one?
Yes, like the second and third. So I started with this. The other one was for my graduate workshop.
Okay.
And I felt, okay, let me draw with it. Okay. So I decided to create like a small portraiture with this one, just to follow the lines to create shapes. Okay. Then I left this. After it's done, I moved to the other one. This one is table for two.
Okay, wait, what's the name for this one?
This one is just normal drawing, like figure drawing.
There's no name for it?
No, it's like drawing. I titled it Drawing One.
Drawing One?
Yes.
That's just what you take?
Yes, I started the drawing with this.
There's always a fancy name for artworks, but this one is just Drawing One.
No, it's Drawing One, and it's like in my personal collection.
Oh, I was going to say that you don't intend to sell this.
No, I don't intend to sell this.
Is there a reason?
Since it's like a pilot study, I love to keep it to see where I started from.
And how much
progress? Yeah, how far I've gone, with it.
So what happens to the first one if this is not the first one?
You know, the school will always have something to keep behind. So, so they know this person did this while he was doing his master's here. Okay. So the first one is in Olufemi Oyewole University.
Okay, so let's talk about this other one. This one looks really interesting. You said it's table for two.
Table for two.
What kind of table for two?
You know, when you go out on a romantic date, the table is always for two, you and the other person, the male and the probably the female. So, and then this is done in a semi-abstract form, but it's not a complete setting, a complete romantic setting, because we have the female figure, we have the corpse there, but the other party is not there.
Why do I feel like that was inspired by Olufemi by Star Plus?
I listened to Olufemi.
Was it about that time you made this? When did you make
2020. I did this 2020.
Oh, it's quite recent. It's quite recent because they talk about two glasses, but only the female being there. But this looks really interesting. The other things there's a chair on the other side depicting the next table, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly did you use for this one? Was it a green-colored rug, or it was you who painted the rug to that color?
No color on the surface. Everything there, rugs and carpets. So I decided to cut them into shape, my desired shape. Okay. Then I used the collage technique.
Goodness. So there is no coloring there? It's just you making use of the scraps to create?
Yes. The idea is to use rugs and carpet as alternative materials for pigments. So instead of getting my acrylics, my watercolors, my oil colors, I decided to go fully into rug. Something that adds colors.
No, okay, so it's just like I get this flat piece of, say, black rug.
Yes.
And then I already have what I want to create, and all I do is just cut out shapes from different colors of rugs that I need to create that particular image.
Yes.
And then put them together.
Yeah, put them together after sketching. No.
Nothing at all.
Yes.
Interesting. So how do you get it right? Okay, you sketch, as you said.
Yeah, I sketch. I have my sketch pad.
Okay.
So when the idea comes, I sketch to get to see the direction to take. Okay. Then I do a color off to see the suited color. Then I search for the appropriate colors to put together.
Now, there are several art enthusiasts, and I know quite well that these days, work of arts, they're actually costing more by the day.
Yes.
I wonder if you were to sell something similar. I know you've said these are your personal collection. Yes. But if you were to sell something similar, on average, how much would it cost?
I hardly talk about price outside the exhibition venue. So I would like to create a form of suspense because I'll be having a show later this year. I'd love to invite you personally and come with your cameraman so you get to see how it goes, how the business aspect goes. Because I have different galleries that sell them. So I leave the business aspect to them.
To the galleries?
To the galleries where I work with the production aspect, just for me to stay in the studio, produce something worth selling at any lovely price.
Now, there's something about artists and quality of materials. You hear things like, okay, this costs more because the quality of the material used is so and so, unlike this quality of material.
Yeah.
So we know quite well that rugs, they can be pricey.
Yeah.
Does it also affect this kind of work you do? Is it also based on the quality of the rug that you put the cost of the material that you're exhibiting or selling?
Not just the quality of work. You need to consider the experience. You need to consider the size. You need to consider the idea. Okay. So when you put that together, then you check the market value. Because, like I told you, you don't dabble into the business aspect at times because you might end up underpricing it.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if you don't study the business aspect of art, you might end up underpricing.
It's best to let those who are professionals.
Yes, underpricing, and it will affect you at the long run. Okay. And at the same time, if you are too covetous, you might overprice it, which you might make 1 or 2 sales, but later it will just push you out of the market. So you just fizzle out.
Okay. Talking about size, recently we had the medical doctor who drew the longest painting.
Fola David.
Yes, Fola David. It took a number of days. Now, for an artist like yours, trying to put something together like that, what are your thoughts on that feat he achieved? It's
great. It's, the visual art aspect is not in the entertaining circle. It's always my studio, my creativity. So that feat is quite great. Is exposing lots of people to the social aspect of art, to the influential part of visual art. You know, the musical aspect is out, the film aspect is out, but the visual aspect has always been on the conservative side. But for such fit, it's just interesting, and we hope to have more of that.
So if you were to put this together, like say for example, you decided that, okay, this is something unique, this is something you do that is not done by many artists, I dare say. If you were to put this together in such a form, how long would it take you to put it together, trying to get the right scraps and get the right materials? How long would it take you?
I think for that to happen, there's need for me to plan ahead. So if I want to do this in the last quarter of 2025, I would have started.
2025, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, it's not just something, you know, I have a team I work with to source for the materials from the factory. So, and I love to make use of colors. You know, there are certain colors you might find difficult to get.
Yes.
You can mix them if you are using acrylic, watercolor, oil colors, but you can't mix them here. So if you want to get that feel, that painting feel, so you have to plan ahead. You have to source for the materials. So you plan ahead, source for materials, get the ideas well articulated, then definitely some other persons will do the PR, the entertainment aspect, the publicity
One
aspect.
Last question I want to ask you. How well has this been received? Because this is not a common way of doing art. How well has it been received?
Positively.
Positively?
Positively.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you so much for your time, Oyewole.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you indeed. All right, at this point, we have to take a break because we've reached the top of the hour on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be back in a bit, so stay with us.